Sup, guys? Today I actually wanted to do something I've wanted to do for a while. I just never got around to doing it. Um, I get in a lot of arguments with people on social media, um, kind of a lot. And so I actually wanted to take the time now to start maybe do a little once every so often do a video where I kind of walk you guys through the argument. So since this is a new kind of video for me, I think I'm just going to kind of make it up as I go along. It's a little more relaxed. Um, I think what I'm going to do is I'll give you guys the context of the argument, maybe where the argument kind of went down, and I will walk you guys through the back and forth of the argument, and we'll kind of go from there. Uh, Today I had an argument on Facebook with some people who, I mean, Jesus, it's hard to, you ever get in an argument with somebody where you're like, holy shit, how are, how are you and I in the same, like, species? Because I always think of myself like lower tier of intelligence in the human race. And then and I'm like, I gotta be at the bottom of the barrel, right? And then you come across these kinds of people and you're like, oh, I'm not doing so bad, you know? And so uh I I wanted to share an argument I had with I had three conflicts. There was four people, not including myself, in total, if I remember correctly. So one of the conflicts actually went relatively well, and I thought that would be a precedent of things to come with the following conflicts. That was not the case at all. However, um, so I still want to show this first conflict, the first back and forth that I had with this individual, and I know YouTube has some guidelines against or I believe they do against showing certain people's names and stuff. I personally believe, hey, if you're going out to purposely engage with people on social media to put it on a giant platform where everybody can see it and whatnot, then it's kind of fair game. But just to be safe, I'm going to block out the names of the people that I had the more negative experiences with. But as for the person that I had this positive conclusion with, I asked her if it was okay if I unblocked her name in this video, and she said, "Yeah, sure, it's fine." And so I'm going to share with you the context of or the original post of what I put up, and then we'll go into the back and forth between her and I after that. So I posted the original uh, post in a group named Our Political Revolution Government Reform Now. And the post reads as follows: Medicare for All is objectively better in every measurable category when compared to our current for profit private health insurance system. Not just that, but it is also far better than even other healthcare systems, such as the public option. Now, I thought that was a duh fucking obvious position, relatively uncontroversial. Um, but funny enough, some people obviously disagreed because not only did I get pushback, but most of the pushback I got was all the same pushback. It was basically people with the inability to differentiate Medicare as it currently exists with uh, what Medicare for All would be. Let's just get right into this. Um, Rona writes the following: Universal health care program. Medicare is a highly deficient healthcare program. Too much is not covered. Expensive supplemental insurance policies are needed to cover some of what is not covered under Medicare. Even with that payoff to the insurance business, all is not covered, and bankruptcy caused by medical expenses still occurs. That is why I suggest we leave Medtronic history, even the word Medicare, because it is an inadequate healthcare system. Now, I think you see, I hope you all see the problem here. Um, she's equating Medicare as it currently exists with Medicare for All. Medicare for All would be the universal healthcare program that she's yelling about in the beginning of her comment. Um, Medicare for All is, simply put, a program where you pay into it with your taxes, and it covers your medical needs. And it would cover um, literally everything, with the exception, of like some certain, like plastic surgery and stuff like that, and unimportant, I think, elective procedures. But what it would cover is every medical necessity that you need, with the exception of prescriptions, which would be fully covered up until a certain income threshold. So, and even then, there's a limit to what you'll ever spend on a prescription. So, the issue here is, Rona is equating the flaws with our current Medicare system and applying them to a Medicare for All system, when Medicare for All fixes literally all of the problems our current Medicare system currently has. All right, so let's read my response to this. I replied saying, Medicare for All is not Medicare as it currently exists. If you read the Medicare for All bill in the Senate, you would find that Medicare for All actually covers what current Medicare doesn't, such as dental and vision, and is completely free at the point of service. Then she goes on to say, I know that. It is the word Medicare that I find negative and foolish to use to taint the excellent single-payer healthcare program we desire. I think it should be called anything except Medicare, because Medicare still enriches insurance company owners and does not meet the medical or financial needs of the middle class and the poor. I am fine with the Senate bill. I am not fine with the name of the program. The word Medicare represents enrichment of insurance company owners, inadequate health care, and more. Okay, so I reply, but Medicare is an already existing program and one of the two most popular programs among the American people in the entire United States. Along with Social Security, if anything, it's foolish not to use that name, because regardless of what you think about Medicare, it already has mass popular appeal. Also, for the minority of people who might have these concerns, you can easily explain it to them in a short couple of sentences, as I just did for you. Exactly why current Medicare is not the same as Medicare for All, and how Medicare for All literally fixes any problems existing Medicare currently has. Then below, I provided a source for the popularity of Medicare. I go on to provide an additional source for the Medicare popularity. Now, Rona replies saying, okay, I hear you. Bottom line is, we must have a good single-payer healthcare system immediately. Force legislators to vote now on a universal healthcare system. Delays are unacceptable. And right there, like, now we're on the same page. Yeah, okay. So you basically just don't like the name Medicare, but like it or not, Medicare is super popular. And if you just make a single payer healthcare system built off the Medicare program that basically builds it into that single payer healthcare system, that the universal healthcare system that you want, then you're totally on board. And if you can make it easier to get people on board with universal healthcare by using an already existing massively popular program like Medicare, then it's a win-win. Now, I replied to Rona saying, I definitely agree with that. That is what. Oh, and also, when she says, you got to force it to happen, now we're getting into some force the vote territory. So I said, I definitely agree with that. That is why I support Medicare for All. It already has mass appeal among the American people. In addition, there is already an existing bill in the House, H.R. 676, and one in the Senate, Bernie's bill, as well. And either could be voted on. I also support force the vote. We need to fight for Medicare for All, universal health care / single payer, relentlessly and unapologetically. So, Rona goes on to basically, uh, you know, agree. She says, I am in agreement with you. And I don't know if this end bit is a typo or not, but it says happy today. Maybe have a happy day, or have a good day, or maybe fight today. I don't know. I tried for a while to interpret that last little bit, but I did not. I couldn't successfully figure it out. I could have asked, but I get the sentiment, um, and I think we're on the same page basically. So I thought that's how every single conflict was going to go from then on. But then I ran into these other individuals, and I don't I don't think they're very bright. So like, it wasn't just the fact that they didn't get the concept, the argument that I was making, but also they just didn't seem to know how to do or use Facebook. Like, they were liking some of my comments even though they didn't agree with my comments. So I don't know if they know how to actually use the social media platform they're on. Also, they did that thing where, like, if you know how every Facebook uh, post has a comment section, and then each comment has its own individual thread section. Well, they would leave a comment, and I would reply in the thread. And sometimes they would reply back in the thread, but then other times they would go back to the comment section and reply to my last comment in the thread with its own individual comment outside of the thread. So I don't think these people are all that bright, is what I'm saying. Now we could do these next conflicts in probably any order. I'm not gonna reveal their names. Like I said, I will refer to them, I guess, by their initials. The next place that I posted this, the next group, was a group named the People's Resistance Oasis, which leads me to believe that it may very well be a liberal resistance, brunch liberal kind of place. But who fucking cares? So anyway, I left the post again. Says the same thing, same exact post as last time. And these are the responses I got. This one has somebody who interjects into the middle of it. So as I'm reading, all of a sudden I'll read somebody else's comment, and it'll be because they got in the middle of this. So Just know that's how this went down. Um, they replied to my post. They say, you do understand that you would still need a second insurance policy. Medicare has an annual deductible, no prescription plan, no dental or eye care, and only pays 80% of what they allow you to be seen for. That last one is a real catch 22. I know I have I know I have been on Medicare since 1993. I haven't I have needed immediate surgery for 3 shattered discs and have had to wait for approval. I have been turned down for other medical necessities. I really think people need to quit parroting Bernie Sanders and realize there are better government run policies available. The VA, TRICARE, etc. I mean, I think she kind of gives away her fucking shitlib position when she says you need to quit parroting Bernie Sanders. I don't parrot Bernie Sanders. I don't. My politics conflict with Bernie Sanders kind of a lot. Like, especially in recent years, with like drone strikes or Russiagate or the lesser evil or like any number of things. The fact that Bernie Sanders is not a supporter of BDS, I think, is unacceptable. Like, I'm not just some blind Bernie Sanders supporter, but I see how somebody like this would, participate in blind party tribalism or hero worship or like not be loyal to policy or the evidence showing which policy is objectively correct, but more of the more of the position of following personalities over policy or parties over policy. So this person clearly kind of gave away their position in that moment. But here's what I said, and just for reference, this person is DH. So I replied to DH and I said, Medicare-For-All is not Medicare as it currently exists. If you read the Medicare-For-All bill in the Senate, you will find that Medicare-For-All actually covers what current Medicare doesn't, such as dental and vision, and is completely free at the point of service. Also, has a limitation to what you will spend on pharmaceutical medications. Medicare-For-All literally fixes all of the problems current Medicare has. And DL replied, I'm not against government insurance for all. I just think every government insurance should be considered before settling on one particular insurance. The VA, for example, they have their own pharmacy. Medicare does not. Okay. Again, you are equating Medicare as it currently exists with Medicare for all. You are saying that we shouldn't implement Medicare for all because Medicare has too many flaws in the VA or another program is better than Medicare. But Medicare for all is better than the VA is right now. That's the thing. I don't think she knows what Medicare for all is or how it's applied and how it functions. She can't get the current existing version of Medicare out of her head. She can't. So I reply, stop comparing current Medicare to Medicare for all. Medicare for all is not Medicare as it currently exists. If you read the Medicare for all bill in the Senate, you will find that Medicare for all actually covers what current Medicare doesn't, such as dental and vision, and is completely free at the point of service. Also, you will never pay more than $200 for prescription drugs, and this amount only applies to individuals making more than $25,200 annually, or families of four making more than $52,400. If you don't make that much, all your prescriptions are free. So basically, under Medicare for All, every problem she has with Medicare and why she wouldn't want that to be the universal program is literally fixed under Medicare for All. I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Anyway, so somebody else jumps in, we'll call him GL, jumps in, and he says, if Medicare for All isn't Medicare, then why call it Medicare for All instead of, say, universal coverage? Everyone, everything? Rhetorical question. It's because Medicare for All plays to a certain demographic who assumes that Medicare equals good. Yeah, okay. And for many things, it may be. Okay? I, too, have a government plan currently. Retired Navy TRICARE. But it doesn't cover dental, hearing, nor vision, which Medicare for All would. If we have to keep screaming something at the top of our voices, stop calling a universal healthcare plan Medicare for All, when that term is intentionally misleading. And I reply to GL and I say, yes, Medicare is an already existing program and one of the two most popular programs among the American people in the entire United States, along with Social Security. If anything, it's foolish not to use that name, because regardless of what you think about Medicare, it already has mass popular appeal. Also, for the minority of people who might have these concerns, you can easily explain it to them in a short couple of sentences, as I just did for DH. Exactly why Medicare is not the same as Medicare for All, and how Medicare for All literally fixes any problems existing Medicare currently has. The reason I felt the need to yell at DH was because she commented twice with the same question. Although she's definitely in the minority of the minority, literally anyone who doesn't understand this right away gets the concept as soon as I explain it to them, as I did to DH. Most people, after hearing my explanation, even if they don't accept it, will move on to asking a different question or make a new argument and continue the conversation accordingly. It was an abnormally frustrating response for her to repeat the same question I had already fucking answered. Although it's not misleading, as Medicare for All literally does actually build off current Medicare. It takes the current Medicare system we have and it expands it and it strengthens it for everybody to transform the current Medicare system into the universal healthcare program of Medicare for All. And there I provide a source, the same source as the last time, that shows Medicare for All's Medicare's massive popularity. And I go on to cite those the other source as well, because I mean, if they're going to regurgitate talking points, I guess I'm going to have to regurgitate debunking them. Now DH gets back into it. And this is where I stopped replying. In the other conflict, I was going back and forth simultaneously with these people as well as the other person. And the other person threatened to block me if I called them ignorant again. And I called them ignorant. Ignorant is not an insult. It's a lack of education or knowledge on any given issue or subject. So, but I didn't want them to delete these. I didn't want anyone to delete these comments. I wanted them for this video, so I didn't respond to them because I didn't want to get blocked or I didn't want to have anything removed. These people are admins of this group, both of them, so they have a lot of authority over the comments that are allowed and not allowed in this group, and so I tried not to agitate them towards the end here because I figured I would just reply to them in this video. So basically what we get here is DH's final response, because GL never replied back, and DH did the thing where this was all complicated because she kept replying outside of the thread, and it was kind of annoying to try. And she also did the thing where, like, in the other conflict, the person was doing the thing where they just kind of like start to, nobody writes everything they have to say in one comment. They like break it up into like several. So I have like, they'll write one thing and then I'll start replying to that, but then they'll like put out like two other things. So by the time I send that, I'm like, oh man, I missed these other comments that I now have to reply to. Like, if you're, that's another thing, just side tangent here. If you're replying to something on like Facebook, at Twitter I get there's limited characters, you have to kind of reply sometimes in multiple tweets. But on Facebook, when you basically have like thousands of characters that you can put into any given comment or response, think out your response. Don't just like, don't have like a yelling argument that you would have in person where you're like, every thought you yell out, but then you have another thought and you yell it back out. Take the time, take a breath, sit back, take the time to think about what you want to respond with. You got all the time in the fucking world. Sit there, put it into a thing, and then let me respond to it. I fucking hate these little spam comments over and over and over again. Just take the time to leave one. I would rather read a fucking 5-hour chapter book with 100 million paragraphs than multiple different comments that I now have to like try to read and reply to individually. Like, it's just a fucking mess. Just take the goddamn time to write things out. Okay, so here DH replies to me. She replies to GL a little bit, but only in a way that, like, when you want to talk shit about somebody, but you don't do it right to their face because you don't want to engage them about it. And so you just say it to the other person in the room who's totally on your side to try and like be condescending to that person. There's a little bit of that in here. $200 for a prescription. How kind of them. Not okay. Let's talk about that for 1 second. It's not $200 for every prescription. It's free prescription unless you're making a certain threshold. It's like her arguments are straw mans at this point, because that's basically the same shit arguments that like Republicans make about AOC's 70% marginal tax rate, where they're like, she just wants to tax everyone at 70%. No. It's only 70% if you reach a certain threshold of income, and then it's 70% of every dollar after that. And the amount is like a massive amount. Like, I have problems with AOC, but that's not one of them. And when people make that argument against her 70% marginal tax rate, it is a clear straw man of her actual position. Or they're just ignorant and they don't know what a fucking marginal tax rate is. But she might be ignorant here. The DH might either be ignorant and not understand, or she might purposely be a bad faith actor and a piece of shit. Or she's one of the two. Anyway, $200 for a prescription, how kind of them. Nah, that proves my point. And here comes the condescension. Joshua Hill completely missed the entire point of my comment. Over the years, I worked for every aspect of government. So when it comes to the types of insurance the government has to offer, Medicare and Medicaid are the lowest form of government insurance. The changes don't make it equal to Veterans TRICARE. No, it makes it better. It does. Like, I'm sorry, it just does. It's literally full coverage care. Free at the point of service. And I she would have to give me an example of what makes the other insurance or the other insurance programs or other healthcare better, because she doesn't actually provide any examples. She just makes the claim and then moves on as if it's a fact. All right. So she goes on to say, they make MFA still a substandard insurance. They make Medicare-For-All still a substandard insurance. That's just the whole fucking sentence, I guess. There's nothing to elaborate on. No examples. Nothing. That she just says, hey, look, other things are better and Medicare-For-All sucks. I'm not gonna fucking explain why. I'm just gonna fucking say it. So anyway, look, I'm a veteran. That means I had military insurance. It covers everything, period. Like Medicare-For-All would? I worked for the city of Tulsa. My scripts were free. Dental was a percentage. Okay, so what you're saying is Medicare-For-All is better than your insurance because dental under Medicare-For-All would be free. All right, thanks for fucking proving my point. I was free. Deductible was a $5 copay. Oh, so no deductibles under Medicare-For-All. Thanks for proving my point some more. All right, let's see. County was a $10 copay. And everything else was free. State was even better insurance. When I worked, it was a $5 copay and everything was covered. Okay, so you're paying $5 more than you would under Medicare-For-All at the point of service, is what you're telling me. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm glad you fucking just said that one's better than the other one, provided no examples, and then went on to the only examples you provide prove the exact opposite of your fucking argument. All right, all of my jobs so far were law enforcement related. When I worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers before retiring to a life of disability after being run over by a car, everything was covered. And everything would be covered under Medicare-For-All as well. What the fuck is your point? Will you get to it, please? I don't want to hear your fucking life story. I just want you to actually explain your position. I'm sorry. All of that sounds fucking devastating. Like I said, I have adult onset Still's disease. I lost my jobs because of my physical inabilities to do that labor. I had to go on Medicare. I've had a shit life too. We all have sob stories. It doesn't actually, but it doesn't validate your argument. I lost coverage by becoming disabled. I'm very sorry to hear that. My point that Joshua isn't understanding it, see more that I'm not talking to him over there, is the government has some really bodacious health insurance policies that cost a monthly fee and no more out of pocket. But Medicare-For-All would just be that regular fee out of your tax dollars that would cover everything. There would be no out of pocket costs. I see she keeps conflating current. All of her arguments are just against current Medicare. They're not against Medicare-For-All. That's the fucking problem. Call it whatever the fuck you want, but why start with the lowest piece of shit government insurance available? Move Medicare funds to the higher class insurance policies available to all government employees and start there. In the meantime, if you're not going to be a part of the solution, at least quit parroting Bernie Sanders because of what... There it is again. Oh my God. You're just a fucking Karen. We get it, all right? We understand. You just have this fucking position of just not understanding the position, but then attacking it anyway. In the meantime, if you're not going to be a part of the solution, at least quit parroting Bernie Sanders because of what he offers is not the best government has to offer. But you didn't explain at any given fucking point in all of what you had to say throughout this entire fucking argument why Medicare-For-All isn't better. Every time you make an argument against Medicare for all, you're really just making an argument against the flaws of current Medicare, which if that was the expansion of like just current Medicare as it is to everybody, I would probably agree with you. I would probably agree with, hey, that's not very, first of all, you can't force everyone into a healthcare system that has that many flaws. That doesn't cover everything. That has high costs for prescriptions. I would actually be on your side regarding that. But as it stands, you're not refuting Medicare for all in any way, shape, or form. You're refuting Medicare. Great. Good job. You fucking did something that you basically argued against a policy that nobody's advocating for. That's a complete straw man. Good for fucking you. I don't know what you want me to tell you at this point. Like, holy shit. All right. So basically, here's what's happening right now. I like butterflies. No, caterpillars are awful. They're slow. They're vulnerable to predators. Okay, yeah, but butterflies, once the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, once they go through the metamorphosis, that transformation, and come out the other side butterflies, they move a lot faster. They can literally fly away from predators. I mean, even their wings have patterns that can scare away many predators. The caterpillar is just awful. It's not good. The moth is so much better. I mean, the moth can fly. The moth has a million advantages over the caterpillar. Okay, yeah, but nobody's arguing for the caterpillar anymore. The butterfly is better than the moth. The moth has that, like, dusty shit on its wings, and if it loses that, it's fucked. The butterfly doesn't have that issue. The butterfly has more advantages than the moth. So let's go on to this last one here with a DW. DW says to my original post, which might I add, the name of the group for this one that I posted in is Medicare Insurance Plans. It's literally a Medicare group. So like you'll see in a second when this person says something, clearly it's a nonsensical thing to say in regarding what group we're in. Anyway, DW says, well, I would disagree. I have both Medicare and private health insurance, and Medicare will not pay what my private, for-profit insurance pays. If I only had Medicare, I would either go without medical treatment or be bankrupt with medical bills. Oh, well, too bad you don't have Medicare for all, because then it would just fucking cover everything, and you wouldn't pay anything except for the smaller amount of money that you would pay out of your taxes than compared to what you pay for your private insurance. But I digress. The person goes on to say, because, they do the thing where they leave multiple little comments instead of just saying everything they want in the first comment. Try to get cataract surgery with only Medicare and see where that gets you. And prescription coverage. You have to have a Medicare supplemental policy, which, by the way, you have to buy from a private insurer. You folks who tout Medicare for all know nothing about how little it really covers. The people you're talking to in this group also have Medicare. It's a Medicare insurance plan group. Everyone in this fucking group would know about Medicare plans. You dumb fucking moron. Okay, next one. My reply, I actually have Medicare myself. Obviously, because of the group we're in, dipshit. So don't tell me what I do and don't know about Medicare. I think I would know something about it. What an insulting, ignorant, condescending thing for you to say. I understand current Medicare has flaws. With that said, knowing something about current Medicare is still irrelevant to how Medicare for All would be applied to the American people. When the current Medicare program is transformed into Medicare for All, it functions differently. It's clear by your ignorant response that you didn't actually read the Medicare for All bill in the Senate. Medicare for All is not Medicare as it currently exists. If you read the Medicare for All bill in the Senate, you would find that Medicare for All actually covers what current Medicare doesn't, such as dental and vision. Doesn't it feel like I'm repeating myself? And is completely free at the point of service, which would include your cataract surgery. Also, you will never pay more than $200 for prescription drugs. And even this $200 limit only applies to individuals making more than $25,200 annually, or families of 4 making more than $52,400. And if you don't make that much, all your prescriptions will be basically free. Let's see how this individual replies to that that response that I've had to repeat a number of times at this point to others. You know nothing about insurance if you think Medicare will cover you. Well, you ask them about cataract surgery. Get back to me on that. Yeah. If I try to go get cataract surgery with current existing Medicare, it will not cover it because it does not cover dental and vision, which Medicare for All does. What? How are you not getting this? How are you not getting this? It's so fucking simple. Such a simple fucking concept. I reply, wow, you're not too bright, are you? Medicare for All transforms our current Medicare system into a universal single-payer program that, yes, will in fact cover vision expenses, including cataract surgery. Current Medicare does not cover vision, but Medicare for All would. What about this simple, basic, fucking concept? Do you not understand? I provided the fucking source so he can read it his fucking self. And out of these sources, I literally put the part in quotes. So it'd be nice and simple. You wouldn't even have to read the whole fucking thing. I just quoted the specific portion of it. This reads, there is a generous list of covered health, vision, and dental benefits, and some long-term care benefits, including... And so this is basically a list of the things that Medicare for All, Bernie's Medicare for All in the Senate would cover. And one of those things, and I quoted it here, oral health, audiology, and vision services. Anyway, let's read his response. Yeah, well, I know what they pay and don't pay for, so don't condescend to me. You apparently don't know what Medicare for All would and wouldn't pay for. So I only speak to you in this way because you're becoming frustratingly impossible to talk to. I mean, do I really have to refute this one? You do know what they... I mean, it's the same fucking thing I've only said 100 goddamn fucking times at this point. Yeah, well, I know what they pay and don't pay for. Yeah, you know what current Medicare in its fucking current existing form pays for and doesn't pay for. But apparently you don't know what Medicare for All pays for and doesn't pay for. Holy shit. Here it is. This is why I actually did not respond to these people any further at this point. Because of this. I got afraid that they would either delete comments or start blocking. DW says, call me ignorant again. You're totally blocked. First of all, ignorance is not name-calling. It's not an ad hominem. It's not an insult. It is just the lack of knowledge or education on any specific issue or subject. I'm ignorant about vehicles. I couldn't fix or repair a vehicle to say very basic things I could do. But there is a number of things that I am ignorant about. Everybody's ignorant about something. DW's ignorant about this. So when I call DW ignorant, it's because it's a fucking fact that I would have a better experience explaining Medicare for All to a fucking brick wall than I would DW. Because at least the brick wall wouldn't respond back with this dumb, ignorant, brain-dead bullshit. And then they say, my prescriptions will be free? Ha 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 ha, LOL. Yeah, they would. If you're under a certain income threshold, yeah, they would be. I don't know what's funny fucking about that, but it's a fucking fact. And finally, DW goes on to say, well, yeah, my last pair of glasses cost me $500. Medicare would never pay that, but Medicare for All would. But the lenses themselves were the main cost. You're lying to people! I mean, I literally cited the fucking portion in quotes. I quoted it for you. That shows that the vision expenses would be covered and prescriptions would also be covered up to a certain income threshold. How am I lying to people? I think you have trouble understanding basic fucking concepts that a child could understand. I don't even know if you're even listening to my arguments at this point. You just wait for me to fucking stop talking or typing, and then you respond. Because you're not saying anything anymore. You're not responding to my actual argument. The substance of my argument is being ignored entirely. I tried to start this out calm. But, we can't have nice things. Now, I don't know if you all noticed this, but on the screen at one point, I put up one of my posts replying to DW, and it had a like. Now, in this thread, there are only two of us. Me and the person who vehemently disagrees with everything that I'm saying. So who do you think liked my comment? I don't think these people understand much of anything. I don't think they understand. They're not bright enough to clearly understand Medicare for All. And I don't think they're bright enough to even understand the basic mechanics of the social media platform they're on. They like comments they don't like. They don't know how to reply in a thread. They can't get anything right. These are dumb fucking morons. And I don't like using ad hominems, but there's enough substantial evidence here that I feel safe making that claim. So there it is. I tried to stay calm, collective, little formal in the beginning. But people like this really get the fuck under my skin. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, I can do more things like this, and I'll have a better setup here, and I'll do it in a smoother, a more appealing way that will, I'm not looking down and reading. Maybe I'll figure something out better. But if you liked it, I can do more of these. but because I really enjoy actually getting into these arguments. They do get me heated. And, I mean, like I said, when you have populist left progressive policy positions, I really think it's pretty easy to argue for those positions. Most, like I said, the overwhelming majority of the American people support a lot of those policies. But then when you run into the few people like this who are clearly fucking ignorant as shit, like they're not that difficult to argue against. They're just infuriating to argue against. But I enjoyed doing it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.